Good day, Amherstburg. It's myself, Laura D'Alessandro.
And it's Ron Giofu from the Rivertown Times, back here on the airwaves of 107.9 FM CKBG, the Berg, for the Rivertown Times Week in Review.
Another week has come and gone, and we're back at it again. A big picture on the front page of the paper this week, and I'm actually in it, and you're in one of the photos too. That never happens that you're on the outside of the paper.
Yeah, hopefully people still pick it up anyways, but...
Should have put you below the fold.
Exactly, right on the fold, yeah. My ugly mug in the paper this week, and so...
Well, you know, put a face to the words, put a name to the writing, and everybody gets to take a look at Ron this week. So we're on the front page because last Thursday night, the Amherstburg Chamber of Commerce held their 20th Annual Business Excellence Awards at the Columbian Club in McGregor. 16 awards in all were handed out, as well as 3 milestone awards, and that's what got you and I on the front page of the paper. The Rivertown Times happily accepted a 30-year milestone award. Like I said, the paper was founded by Karen Morrell, Rusty Brown, and Ryan Deslip back in August of 1995.
It is. We're just carrying on the legacy, and we're proud to do so. And we got the 30-year milestone award, but we couldn't have done that without all of those that came before us. So that includes all publishers, editors, salespeople, delivery people,
graphic designers,
you name it, anyone who's been involved with the paper. We thank you. And again, we couldn't have done it without you. And it was an honor to get our 30-year award.
And in another 30 years, Ron, you'll be what, 106?
Thereabouts.
Yeah. I'm sure you only feel like 102 today.
Just about, yeah.
And I'll only be 41 in 30 years. That's so weird.
Yeah, you have a very weird grasp of mathematics, it appears.
I have a weird relationship with age.
Yeah, it sounds like.
But our friends here at the radio station were also big winners on the night. They won the Believe in Amherstburg Award, so congratulations to everybody here at the radio station. It was the final award given out of the night, and it was very well deserved, and we're happy to be part of what's happening here at CKBG.
Absolutely. So congrats to CKBG 107.9 The Berg and to all the other award winners. I mean, again, there's a big photo on the front page of this week's RTT that's also on our website. And we also have a number of pictures in the paper this week. So there's quite a bit of a coverage for the Business Excellence Awards. So make sure you check out the many pages of it. This week, it's not often we go to 4 pages on a specific story, but we did this week just to get in the story and all the photos because we want to recognize all the winners. So congratulations to all and great job. And I should mention the other 2 milestone award winners. The Amherstburg Freedom Museum was honored for their 50th anniversary, and it's 120 years for the James H. Sutton Funeral Home. So congratulations to them as well.
The Chamber also has a list of the winners and who sponsored the awards in an ad that is on page 12. So if you want to get a little recap there, there's an ad by the Chamber. All right, turning our attention to other news, Town Council met on Monday night. The meeting started with the appointing of a new town crier.
Norm Ross, a retired principal and drama educator, is the town's new town crier. Frank Gorham was on hand to kind of hand over the reins, pass the bell, or however you want to put it. Frank was there. Frank actually retired in 2019, but he was in full town crier regalia, as well was Norm on Monday night, and they kind of passed the torch, so to speak. Norm Ross is now officially on the job, and he will, you'll see him probably at open-air weekends and other special events in the community. So make sure to give him a warm welcome. There's the docents were there. There's a docent program in Amherstburg now, and they help give free tours around Navy Yard Park and educate people on local history. That will be another component of open-air weekends, which start the last weekend in May, I believe. Make sure you check that out during the open-air program, and but congratulations to Norm Ross as the new Amherstburg town crier.
That's very exciting. Tourism Windsor Essex Pelee Island was on hand Monday night as well at Council to make a presentation to Council members regarding a new municipal accommodation tax.
Town Council is at least going to explore the tax. It would be charged by bed and breakfast, Airbnbs and hotels, and the tax proceeds from the tax would 50%. If they partner with TWEPI, would go 50% to TWEPI and 50% to the town, and that would have to fund tourism operations in the community. The hope is, long term is, at least by TWEPI, that maybe eventually one day that revenue from the tax would lessen the burden on the municipal tax rate for tourism. Again, the town's at least going to try it. They're going to get a report back by August 31st on it. Take a look at what it looks like locally going forward. And again, this is a tax on visitors visiting our B&Bs or hotels and that sort of thing. This is not going on the municipal tax rate. This is not going to be borne by residents of the town. So in case you're wondering about that and you hear the word tax, it's something that's visitors would pay at whatever accommodation they stay at locally. And that is, of course, assuming it gets formal approval. But right now a report is coming back to council later this summer.
We know you'll keep an eye on that for us, Ron. The town hosted a Parks Master Plan open house. They were looking last week for input from the public and showcasing some current work being done around town.
Yeah, but 26 parks in all are in the community, and all of them are featured as part of the Parks Master Plan. They had about 30 people out. It was about a 5-hour event in the downstairs community room at the Libro Center on May 5th. I think folks with the town were hoping for more, but they were happy with the survey results. They got about, I believe, 274 results to a survey, so they were happy with that. And it's just what do you want to see in the parks? What components should go in? Where should it go? I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. One of the more interesting ones, I mean, there was a lot of interesting stuff. Well, it was a cricket pitch possibly in Anderton Park. That's just one of the items, or possibly a new turf ball diamond, a second turf ball diamond at the Libro Center. And again, there's just various different amenities that would possibly go into various different parks. Obviously, this is not going to happen overnight. It would cost millions of dollars to do all this. So it's going to happen just one item at a time and slowly build up the new amenities, a new inventory of stuff going on in the parks. Some stuff has already been done. Some master plans have already been done, like Centennial Park, Jack Purdy Park, Coan Park, those sorts of things. But the last master plan update was in 2018, so the town's looking to keep that refreshed and keep that updated, and that was the purpose of the open house. The Parks Master Plan will come back before Town Council in July.
You mentioned amenities and things happening and looking for public input. We mentioned it last week on the air, but in the paper this week is a story regarding the public open house that was held at the Libro regarding a disc golf course coming to Holiday Beach.
IRCA was looking for feedback. That's a IRCA initiative, and boy, did they get feedback. Over 100 people attended. Majority sounded like they were opposed to the disc golf course. The Holiday Beach Migration Observatory made it clear they are opposed, and they remain opposed after the open house. IRCA has said the proposal is now on hold. A lot of concerns around the environment, wildlife, the flora, the fauna, the birds, and that sort of thing, the trees, and that sort of thing. It was a wide-ranging discussion at the Libro Center last Tuesday night, so about 8 days ago. We had a full story on page 3. And to be fair, there were some folks in favor of it. They had the Ontario Disc Golf Association had a spokesperson there. They had some disc golf players. And they're saying, we've done this before in conjunction with conservation. It's not as bad as you think. We can work together. But it seemed like the folks in opposition were not overly appeased by that. They have their concerns, and they remain concerned. And so again, full story on page 3 of this week's issue of the Rivertown Times. Also online at www.rivertowntimes.com.
St. Clair College held their Alumni of Distinction Award ceremony recently, and a business owner, CEO, and president of Movati Athletics, Chuck Kelly, was honored that night.
Yeah, congratulations to Chuck. He was one of several nominees to be recognized that night. We got the full story in this week's RTT, and starting on page 14. So make sure you check that out. I know Chuck has been involved with the local fitness industry for many years. He actually started out as a paramedic, actually. That's what he went to school for and graduated in 1991. He's worked his way up. He worked, I believe it was 16 years as a paramedic, and then went into the fitness industry full-time and is now heavily involved with Movati. So, of course, one of their many locations is here in Amherstburg, but they have locations around Ontario and Alberta and around the country. So congratulations to Chuck. Congratulations to all the award winners on the St. Clair College Alumni of Distinction Awards. I know several Amherstburg residents have been honored over the years. This year was Chuck's turn, and great job. Congratulations, Chuck, and to all the nominees.
Speaking of awards, we have an award winner in the house today, Noah Paquette, our co-op student. He won the CEC award last Thursday night. We've asked him to speak about it, but I'm not sure. I don't see him getting up. His lips are quite tightly sealed. Mm-hmm. We just wanted to congratulate you, Noah. We're happy to have you as part of the Rivertown Times, and congratulations on your award.
Great job, Noah, and I'm sure the folks at North Star High School are equally as proud as we are. Great job in the award, and we'll have some coverage on that in an upcoming issue of the RTT.
And Noah's in the paper this week. You can see a picture of Noah. He's in the ribbon cutting story. He's one of the quote-unquote customers of Starbucks that day. So he was working. Well, I will tell your teacher. You weren't just skipping for the day.
Exactly. You didn't just go on a coffee run. You were actually doing stuff as part of your co-op. So congratulations to Noah as well. Great job.
Speaking of those 3 ribbon cuttings, you've been really busy these last, probably a month or so, Ron, out covering 2 new businesses to Amherstburg and 1 having a grand reopening.
Of course, there was a lot of excitement around Mercado Fresh opening at 365 Sandwich Street South last Thursday. It was pouring rain first thing in the morning, and I know that because I was standing out there taking a ribbon cutting photo. Thankfully, they had an awning out front. Well, they still have it, and so a lot of people were able to camp out under there as they waited for the store to open, which it did at 8 o'clock, and the people poured in. And the next few days we saw were very busy at Mercado, and I'm sure it still is. And welcoming the community. They were welcomed by the members of council, the mayor, and the ribbon was cut there at Mercado. Then last Saturday, the brand new owners and the new renovation of Subway. If you haven't checked out the Subway's new look at 473 Sandwich Street South, they're still in the same location, but it's just a new fresh look, pardon the pun, because they pride themselves on freshness. Again, check out Subway and check out the story on them. And, of course, we're in at the Starbucks recently for their ribbon cutting ceremony, so they were welcome to Amherstburg as well. Of course, Starbucks is at 527 Sandwich Street South in the same plaza as the Taco Bell and the Burger King, and the building in the back that we're still anxiously awaiting to see who's going to be the tenant of, so or the tenants they're in, I should say. There's ribbon cuttings in this week's paper, and based on my calendar, more ribbon cuttings to come. And we'll keep on top of everything in upcoming issues of the Rivertown Times and on our website.
The south side of town's getting real busy. When I moved out that way, there was nothing. You had to drive all the way through to get to the other side to get your groceries and do everything on kind of the north end of town. But now the south side, it's grown so much in the last, couple 24 months or so. Just seems to take off like wildfire down there.
Exactly. New fast food joints. We already had Tim Hortons down there in the plaza there. That's with that. And just all kinds of stuff happening down there. Yeah. And rumor has it there was even more development planned. So we'll stay on top of it.
Here's hoping. Turning our attention to sports, North Star Girls Soccer has kicked off the WEXA AA playoffs.
They were on the pitch last Monday. They got a 4-0 win over the Erie Migration Coyotes. Good job by the Wolves, knocking off the Kingsville School. And they will play, I believe it's today at 4 o'clock. They're on the east end of Windsor, playing at Riverside. So it looks like it could be a tough matchup for them. But North Star's got a talented group of girls, so good luck to the Wolves. And we hope they do well. They had 2 games to wrap up the regular season last week, and they did so, and they built some momentum. They beat Kennedy 9-1 last Monday, so about 9 days ago. And then last Tuesday, the Essex Red Raiders came to Amherstburg, and North Star won that game 3-1. So we had a complete story on page 15 of the RTT this week. So pick up your copy of the paper or scroll down on our website and check out the story under the sports tab of our website.
Keeping the mode of sports, the Amherstburg Minor Baseball held their opening day of the 2025 season.
They had 200 players this year. A lot of their games, including the ones last Saturday, were at Malden Center Park. They will have some games at Weigel Park this year. So good luck to all the young ball players. They have travel teams back in town this year. So that's great to see, kind of the rebirth of Amherstburg Minor Baseball. They faced a bit of a down period, but it's great to see the organization getting built back up. And thank you to all the organizers and the coaches and of course, the players themselves. It's great to see baseball players back on the field. We've got a rich tradition of baseball here in Amherstburg, and it's great to see that continuing. And opening day was last Saturday, and if you see busy Malden Center Park on Saturdays and busy players on the diamond during the week, at Weigel Park, that's what's going on. The AMBA is back, and they're getting going for the 2025 season.
All right, looking forward to the weekend. Fort Malden National Historical Site officially opens for the year this weekend. You can find more information at parkscanada.ca/Malden. Artist Collective grand opening at Hotel Story on Sunday from 3 to 8. That's going to be featuring our own graphic designer, Matthew Zaydan. He's got some art that's going to be displayed that day, and I think you're going to pop down to the hotel.
Yeah, we'll provide coverage of that. It's from 3 to 8 down at Hotel Story in the O restaurant and on the grounds of the hotel. That's, of course, on Murray Street, so make sure you check that out on Sunday from 3 to 8.
And a fundraiser going on. It's going to be a fundraising barbecue. It's Operation Walk Again. This is going to be at Sobeys, and it's to benefit a produce manager, Bill, who unfortunately suffered some health issues, and he lost his leg. So all proceeds from the barbecue will go towards Bill and his recovery. The barbecue is going to be on Saturday at Sobeys starting at 11. And if you're interested in donating and maybe you can't make it out on Saturday or you'd like some more information on how to help, please call Krista at Sobeys at 736-4520.
Great job by Sobeys, not only giving back to the community, but looking after one of their own. So all the best on this fundraiser, and all the best to Bill.
Yeah. Just a little side note, it did make the paper this week, but I wanted to highlight that the Rotary Club of Amherstburg has found a new home. They will be meeting Wednesdays at the Fort Fun Center.
Rotary meets every second and fourth Wednesday, and now the club has a permanent home. It's at the, as Laura said, at the Fort Fun Center, 689 Texas Road. One of the meeting rooms is now being used by Rotary, so thank you to the Fort Fun Center for partnering with the Rotary Club. And again, if you're interested in joining Rotary, the details are in this week's issue of the RTT.
All right. Well, this is the first, I feel like it's the official kickoff of the summer. It's the May 2-4 weekend. So just a heads up that we will be closed on Monday. The office will not be open. So we've had to move our deadlines accordingly. So the deadline for our 21st issue will be Thursday, tomorrow at 4 p.m. And the office will be closed on Monday.
Absolutely. We wish everyone a happy and safe Victoria Day. Enjoy your holiday and hopefully get some downtime to enjoy with family and friends. And
hopefully the weather is good.
I hope so. If you're heading out of town for the weekend, safe travels. And we'll get back at it on Tuesday. Of course, the paper's coming out on May 21st as scheduled. It's just the office will be closed on Monday and the deadlines are moved a little bit. So looking forward to serving you. And if you need any ads, just we're still happy to help you out.
All right, Amherstburg, have a great day.
Have a great day. Have a great week. Thanks to our drivers, Ken and Louise, for driving around the community, dropping off our papers and the boxes in the stores. And we'll see you back here next Wednesday at 12 noon and the replay at 4:30 p.m.